we're going to start getting rough with these guys.
Whoa!
And I said, well, what does that mean? And he said, well, we're going to do, and he listed these 10 techniques, waterboarding and sleep deprivation and, smack in the face and all these different kinds of things.
Got asked that in Starbucks?
I said, that sounds like a torture program to me. And he goes, no, it's not torture. The president approved it and the Justice Department approved it, and we're gonna start on it.
Still could be torture.
I said, I don't know. I think I have a problem with that. Let me think about it for an hour. So I went back up to the...
For just an hour.
There was a very senior CIA officer up there who I had worked for 10 years earlier. And I said, hey, I just got approached and asked if I wanted to be certified in these enhanced interrogation techniques.
No.
What do you think of that?
No.
And he said, first of all, let's call a spade a spade. This is a torture program. And you know how these guys are, he says. Somebody's going to go overboard and they're going to kill a prisoner. And when that happens, there's going to be a congressional investigation and then a Justice Department investigation, and somebody's going to go to prison. You want to go to prison? And I said, no, I don't want to go to prison. So I went back downstairs. I said, this is a torture program, and I want nothing to do with it. So
good answer.
They asked 14 people, and I'm sorry to
says?
say that I was the only one who said no. 2 of us said
what?
No in the beginning, and then 1 changed his mind. But I was the only one in the end that said no. I'm glad I did. In retrospect, I was right. They were wrong.
Yeah.
But things got much, much worse before they got any better.
How so?
Well, they started torturing Abu Zubaydah on the 2nd of August.
His brain, chat, his brain is so, like, he could just pull, like, the fact he can just pull these dates, like, the 2nd of August, like, it's so crazy to see, like a brain like this is fucked.
2002, and it was a slippery.
Chaos, I appreciate you with the 24 months, bro. Hell the fuck yeah, man. Go on, kid.
Slope. They did many, many, many things, not just to Abu Zubaydah, but to most, if not all, of our high-value prisoners that were never authorized by the Justice Department or by...
Has he actually came out and said he's autistic? Or are you just saying that?
President. You can't force hummus up someone's rectum, for example.
Let me just rewind that.
The president. You can't force hummus up someone's rectum, for example. Right?
For example? I would have thought you might have gone somewhere else for an example there.
You can't play Russian roulette with them. You can't... they learned Abu Zubaydah had an irrational fear of insects. And so they put him in a coffin, and they dumped a box of cockroaches in there with him, and then closed the coffin. And they left him in there for 10 days, just with...
I just got the heebie-jeebies bit. What? 10 days, bro? Bro, 10 days is fucked. Bro, 10 days ago was February 8th. I mean, I guess it doesn't really have any substance. 10 days ago was so long ago.
The diaper. You can't do that. Nobody told you had permission to do something like that. And waterboarding was supposed to be the ultimate technique. But
sliming the whole galaxy?
That were clearly worse than waterboarding. Sleep deprivation, right? We know from the American Psychological Association, which has done studies on this kind of thing.
Yeah, sleep deprivation is
that
crazy.
People begin to go insane at 7 days with no sleep.
Yes.
They begin to die of organ failure.
Yes.
With 9 days without sleep.
Yes, guys. Sleep deprivation. We'll probably do... Chat, maybe one night we'll do more of a deep dive into that. The videos and stories of people who have experienced sleep deprivation. David Blaine, for example. Bro, it's crazy.
The CIA was authorized to keep prisoners awake for 12 days.
Oh!
People died from sleep deprivation. Another one was something called the cold cell, where they strip a prisoner naked.
What?
They chain you to an eye bolt in the ceiling.
What?
so that you can't sit or lay or get comfortable in any way. They chill your cell to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And then every hour, somebody goes in and throws a bucket of ice water on you.
Okay, so what the fuck are we talking about? What?
We murdered 2 prisoners.
What the fuck, bro? Dude, it's his delivery.
That technique. That was never approved as a technique. So we did all kinds of stuff. There was another thing, a technique that was considered to be
he's got
kind
more.
of a mild, no big deal.
Here comes a mild one. Wait, what's it called?
To be kind of a mild, no big deal kind of thing called walling.
Walling.
Where
promising.
They roll up a towel and put it around your neck.
Okay.
And then they shove you into a wall. Right?
That's mild. Not that just slamming your face into a wall mild.
Right? Well, the wall, it's a, what do you call it? Fiberboard,
Piece of plywood,
whatever. There's a little bit of give, and they have their
Yo!
towel so that you don't get whiplash. But they never used a towel. They never used anything around the neck. And it wasn't a plywood wall. It was a concrete block wall.
Okay, so let me translate. They didn't do anything besides palm the dude's head like Jordan and slam someone's head into a concrete wall. Okay, so how is that going to help?
And now we have, for example, Muhammad Attar, the nephew of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was slammed so mercilessly against the wall that he's now brain damaged to the point where he can't participate in his own defense. Mm-hmm. They gave him permanent, lifelong brain damage.
What?
Where does it say you were authorized to do that? So it really was a slippery slope. And nobody
Chaos,
was
it's the CIA.
ever punished. Nobody will ever be called to account.
It's like terrorist stuff.
Just recently, we're filming this in early September. The last week of August of 2023, the Defense Department admitted that they cannot try Ramzi bin Ashib, one of the 9/11 co-conspirators. They cannot try him because he's insane. He's clinically insane. Why is he insane?
What do we do to him?
Because of sleep deprivation.
Wow.
Do you think that's bullshit, though?
Charlie with the... Oh, chat. What a good lad Charlie is. Look at that. Charlie, I'm going to shout you out really quick, buddy. Some people tier 1 month to month. Charlie has so much faith in this community. Buddy subscribed for tier 1 6 months in advance. Get in, Charlie, you fucking stud.
No, because this is the Pentagon's
Good on ya.
psychiatrist who's saying he's insane. Not his defense
Charlie, bad news. This is my last stream for my whole career. I'm quitting after this.
attorneys.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it goes back to your point before about, you consulting your higher up at the agency, and he said, listen, somebody's going to go overboard.
Freak, what's good, man?
And yeah, I read Jim Mitchell,
I'm trolling, bro.
Who was the Air Force psychologist that with Bruce Jessen designed the AIT program, and I guess the towel around the neck was supposed to be some sort of Pavlovian conditioning, where just the feel of the towel going around the neck.
Much of it was supposed to be Pavlovian. Yes.
What's Pavlovian?
They called it learned helplessness. That's what it was.
Caper, what's good,
learned helplessness. So all they would have to do is roll up the towel, and the prisoner would just crumple.
Yeah.
Conditioning?
So I guess it's worth just giving some context to the listener as to why these things were even done.
His microphone is very well done.
So the reason why they were done is something called the ticking time bomb scenario. The ticking time bomb scenario
What?
is you've just captured, let's say, Abu Zubaydah.
I guess he's just feeling good.
And you know that Al-Qaeda's planning something big. Because Osama bin Laden said he was planning something that would dwarf 9/11, right? And you've got to get the information before the bomb goes off. So you say, hey, Abu Zubaydah, give me the information.
This guy's still alive, yeah.
He's like, fuck you. I'm not going to give you the information. So what do? Do you waterboard him?
Pavlovian is basically an experiment where a dog was given treats every time a bell was rang, so once a bell rings for that dog, the dog will start salivating and shit. But how does that tie into putting a neck or towel around someone's neck?
Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
What? I take my eye. I took my eye off the screen for the first time that whole video right there. I took my eye off the screen. That's the first time I looked away. And he's talking about shove some hummus up his ass. Trained to fear the towel?
Now,
Go
the
on.
problems
Appreciate
with that
that.
are several-fold. First of all of it's illegal. Secondly, there really is no such thing as the ticking time bomb.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you, bro. Because they start talking as soon as you put the towel around because they know what's coming. So it's supposed to be like that's the bell. Like it's the towel's on. It's either you tell us or you know what's coming. Well done. This is why we stream. This is why we have a chat. Love you guys.
That's only in the movies. It's never happened in real life. It just doesn't. Besides, even if it did happen, when you're torturing somebody, they give you everything they think you want to hear just to get you to stop torturing them.
Yeah.
And so then it's going to take 6 months for the analysts to sort through it to figure out what's true and what's bullshit. You know? And by then the bomb's gone off anyway.
Appreciate the honesty, monkey.
And again, we're either going to be the international, shining beacon of hope for human rights and civil liberties.
Yeah, also, why hummus up the ass? Does hummus go up the ass easiest?
We can't have it both ways. I mentioned a few minutes ago, Ramsey bin Aship being declared insane. Even if he had been declared sane, nothing that he said can be used against him at trial because the CIA tortured it out of him. Nothing that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed said, nothing that Abu Zubaydah said, or that Abdurrahim Nashri said, none of it can be used against them in trial. So what do?
It dissolves your skin over time. Oh!
We continue to hold them illegally without charge, or we let them go.
Wait, what?
The bottom
Marcus?
line here is the CIA royally fucked this up. And that's why every time
I love
the
hummus
CIA
too.
would start to torture prisoners, every time Mitchell and Jessen were put in charge
Not even trolling.
of the interrogation sessions at the black sites, every FBI person in the country would leave. The FBI didn't even want to be in the same country where this torture was taking place.
Yeah.
Like I say, it kills me to
Bro,
compliment
hummus
the
is
FBI.
so good, bro.
But they were right, and the CIA was wrong. And here we are, 22 years after 9/11. Literally no one has been prosecuted for that crime.
What?
No one.
Yeah.
Nor will anyone be prosecuted because the CIA ensured that no prosecutions could be carried out.
Wow.
Ironically, you're the only one that went to prison for
I'm
that.
the only one that went to prison. Yeah.
So, last
Damn! Bro, this guy's moving different. Not Penn fella, other dude.
on this, and I'm just playing a little bit of devil's advocate here because I think it's important to listen to all arguments. Like I would like to have you in here just as I would like to have Jim Mitchell in here, or Jose Rodriguez,
Sure.
and decide for myself. And I hope the listeners do the same.
I agree.
And I'm just I can't help but think about September 12th, man. And
Right.
there's a quote in Tenet's book where he says something along the lines of all major foreign policy decisions after 9/11 were viewed through the prism of smoke from the World Trade Center and the Pentagon.
Absolutely true.
So when I think about the intent of Jose Rodriguez, of Jim Mitchell, of Bruce Jessen, I think about hindsight being 2020, the ticking time bomb situation, frantically trying to save American lives when everybody was running around like a fucking chicken with their head cut off. When you look back and you think about the enhanced interrogation program, what role does intent play for you?
I believe that all of the people that you mentioned had good intentions. I think that this points to a bigger problem at the CIA where
Bro, guys,
you
I'm
put
so locked in.
sociopaths in positions
I'm literally
of
speechless.
authority, where they come to believe that they're above the law and that because they're the good guys, they can and should do anything that they want to do. But I'm confident that Jose Rodriguez thinks he's the good guy, and
I don't know
that
who that is, though.
James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen think they're the good guys.
Don't know who that is.
No doubt in my mind. At the same time, when there's a program that is
bro, it's just cool hearing him come
as potentially
to like
dangerous,
like
as
his
the
brain is just
EIT
going.
program, you need some way to put the brakes on it. We already know that the congressional oversight system doesn't work. It just doesn't. You can't have
like
12
he's
staffers
so
on Capitol Hill overseeing an agency of 25 or 30,000 people. You just can't. It doesn't work. At the same time, the oversight committees have become.
He just knows so much ball,
rather than the brakes on out of control CIA policies. And
like he's the only person. Think about that. There's very few people in the world. He is the only person, because he has a combo of he's the only person who's been on the inside of this stuff and willing to blow the whistle, aka speak out about it. There's like probably 100 people on the earth who would even have this platform, and he's the only one out of those people who took a chance on I mean, dude. Things
like open criminal investigations. The CIA needed to swallow its pride and defer to the FBI, and they just wouldn't. They wouldn't do it. And a lot of that was because of a guilty
Start modeling? Go on.
Of having fallen asleep at the switch and allowed 9/11 to take place in the first place. But, the torture program, nothing good came out of it. Literally nothing.
You went to Guantanamo in 2002.
The fuck
Can you
is
say
that?
what you were doing there?
It was an interim assignment. I was a big star after I was beta.
Yo, what the fuck was he doing in Guantanamo?
One of the muckety mucks came up and said, "Listen, we've got an underlap.
Rammers, go on.
Chief in Guantanamo for a little while." And I said, "I've never been to Cuba. I'd love to go to Cuba." So it's summertime. It's pretty hot. I said, "Okay, I'll go." So I went. Just filled in for somebody until a permanent chief was named.
What was that like being over there?
Hot.
Yeah.
And
oh, my PR trained. Are you fucking seeing this shit? How was it over there? Hot. Not talking about this guy. No. Oh, that's well done.
One of the things that's striking about Guantanamo, and I would guess that this is probably still the case, is no one has any idea of what the other guy's doing. Right? Like, I'm used to working with people from a whole bunch of different agencies. Like, hey, FBI guy, how you doing, buddy?
He's handsome.
Hey, DEA guy, keep up the good work. Oh, you're the ATF guy? We should have a beer sometime,
Oh, and he crushes a fucking stew.
That's how it is in every embassy. At Guantanamo, you're walking past somebody, you put your head down. Like, who's he? I don't know. And I'm not telling him who I am. And all that guy knows is those buildings over there, don't go over there. That's, what do they call it? OGA. Another government, other government agency.
What?
They don't even like to say the letters CIA. They just say OGA.
OGA? Bro, I'm a OG.
Don't go over to that side. And then, like, you can hear people screaming over there. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, bro, what information do you expect to get out of someone when they go, okay, I'm afraid of XYZ, right? I'm afraid of insects. They go, okay, we're going to put you in a coffin, send a bunch of cockroaches in there for 10 days, and then tell us. What? We watched the LA Bible one. I'm scared of pizza. I'm so scared of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Oh my god, I don't want to see that. I'll do anything not to get mint chocolate chip ice cream. I'll do anything.